Okay, it's day 177, and this is part two. And people are already saying I'm being too brutal on Paul Ryan for saying he's the wheelman for the Awans. And it's been exactly 1 year since I found the hard drives, since I found the hard drives with the government markings, the Blackberries, the government markings, the classified markings. 1 entire year I've given Paul Ryan. At this point, after a year making 2,500 videos, he is on notice. And I'm sorry, I just have to call him out for what he is. He's the wheelman for the Awan spiring in Congress. Who's one of the key conspirators of this Mouaz, Moustafa? And what I love about our series is we always tell the story of the conspirators in their own hand, their own fonts, their own pictures. Here's Mouaz Moustafa telling his story, how he was raised in Damascus, drawing inspiration from the American Revolution. I'm sure he did. He was involved in the Egyptian revolutions. Did he ever go to Otpor? Did he ever go to Kosovo to get training from Otpor and Madeleine Albright's a set of folks that are there to destabilize, and that group of folks that Zebig developed oh so long ago, bringing them from Afghanistan. Well, we'll see. But he was involved in the Egyptian revolutions, the Libyan revolution, and now the Syrian revolution. And isn't it just obvious he's a pawn being moved from revolution to revolution as a go-between for John McCain and Paul Ryan? I mean, I don't like calling Paul Ryan the cover man for the Awan inspiring in Congress and the cover man for this weapons to ISIS, because it's really more active. The wheelman for me is an image of Paul Ryan that's much more active, that as investigators are getting close, we're getting to Teresa Grafenstein's report, he cuts us off. So he's actively protecting the Awans. He's not just giving off palliative PR. He is cutting off different investigators as we get closer to the CAO and Cato's report on all the suspicious activity reports and the money transfers to Pakistan, or as we got closer to the Becerra server, the drug server, and those terabytes to Pakistan, the exfiltrating of data. He cuts us off again at all these different alleys. And here is the conspirator that he's working with. And again, he's the wheelman and the coverman, I guess. But now let's talk about Moustafa in his own words. Came up through the House, as I mentioned before, with Vic Snyder, Little Rock Democrat in the Congress, and then a little bit later with Elaine Clifford, I believe, or maybe it was Elaine Kennedy or Lincoln. I knew it was a presidential name. There we go. So anyway, here he is in his own words. He set up this, these activists, and he kind of does the movies for all these people. It's kind of like a white helmet thing. Here he is saying revolutions are beautiful in his own words.
Revolutions are beautiful. You see horrendous things, but you also see the most beautiful things in humanity ever in them. And
Yeah.
things that are never, that sometimes don't get covered or anything like that, and people don't see, but you see miracles every day.
And
Revolutions
that
are beautiful.
and that is the recovery of these beautiful girls from Syria. And sometimes organ harvesting is beautiful. And wherever this guy goes, we see the same thing, whether it's Aleppo, whether it's into the slave markets in Benghazi, or whether it's in the slave markets of Cairo, the weapons markets of Cairo. We see the same beauty over and over again. A huge uptick in organ harvesting, a huge uptick in child trafficking, a huge uptick in weapons and gun bazaars, weapons for drugs, a huge uptick in drug trafficking, and so forth. Yes, revolutions are beautiful for the inside players, for the pay-to-play Washington drugs for weapons insiders, for the wheelmen like Paul Ryan, for the Awan spiring in Congress, for the pay-to-play weapons for drugs dealers like John McCain.